Well, hello there, my friends. I promised you guys a Union campaign after my first Union campaign was sort of stopped abruptly after moving here to Europe. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, my friends, in a Union campaign. I am going to take the Strategist, and I'm definitely going to be taking the tough one here. I kind of want to take artillery, but I think I'm going to take the infantry. And over here, I am going to go for Army. So we're going to be playing the Union campaign. I'm going to take Brigadier General. I think this is pretty fair. Right in the middle. And of course, how could I go wrong with Agrippa Maxentius? Not the most, accurate for his time, of course. But I think it's going to be pretty useful. We're also going to get rid of the advisor there. So we will begin. Now, obviously, we're going to have to increase politics, economy, a whole bunch of other stuff, increasing those things, or else we are in some trouble. So our main objective is to secure this small town and its railroad station, of course. Pretty straightforward. According to our scouts, the garrison should not exceed 3,000 soldiers. We must capture the town before rebel reinforcements arrive. And obviously, I've been getting in just a very small group of men because, well, admittedly, the high command probably doesn't trust me. Now, it's the beginning of the Civil War, of course, and we don't know what to expect. It's 1861 here. We've just been drafted into the army. Look at me. Yeah, I've got a beard like that. I mean, a mustache like that. Not really. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and move forward, guys, and start engaging the enemy. I'm going to move towards the woods and through the woods because I know this is going to be the toughest thing to do. And I think a lot of you guys are going to enjoy this particular campaign because you can kind of see how far I can get. If you guys want to see my Confederate campaign, I highly recommend you go into my Civil War playlist and check it out. It's very, very fun. And we actually did a lot better than I expected. Now let's see how we do with the Union campaign. And actually, I've heard that the Union campaign is somewhat tougher than the Confederate campaign. I don't know how true that is. But we're going to start out, of course, with just skirmishers here, firing away at the enemy and trying to rout them. And sure enough, Burns got routed very, very quickly here. I'm still going to chase him, though. I'm not stopping here. And we are supposed to get some reinforcements to assist us in capturing Philippi. I can only hope that those reinforcements are going to come sooner rather than later. I don't want to be here struggling while the enemy is in a pretty good position. So Sill is actually... Looks like we're not able to find him. There we go. Finding Sill. We're going to just keep those skirmishers forward to really put the hurt on the enemy while we move the rest of our boys ahead. Here we go, my friends. Forward to victory. We must crush this rebellion, and we must do it quickly. All right, we got Schaefer here. We got Stockton. Two generals, I hope, that are going to be very important to our overall cause. I'm going to fire on Burns right there. That's up close and personal. Is Burns going to try to charge us? That seems a little crazy at this juncture. So I'm going to keep on firing. These boys are reloading fast. I'll tell you one thing about the skirmishers. They know how to reload very, very quickly. So we're going to keep firing here at Burns. The rest of these fellas. And I'm not trying to lose a lot of skirmishers. I definitely want these guys to help us in future battles. But we can't just stay back and not do anything. We're going to continue. I am going to use the woods as cover. Like I said, trying to save as many men as possible here. Go ahead, open fire, Schaefer and Burns. We still got Sill there. I might even take Zook to assist in fighting these skirmishers. And pretty soon we're going to be getting that contingent of reinforcements, and we could certainly use them. All things considered, we need as many men as possible to take this town and to ultimately hold it, which I'm sure is going to be a major, major part of this battle. Of course, the great Agrippa Maxentius is watching his men. And look at that, we got Hexamer. We got another group of enemy skirmishers here advancing, but I want to make sure that these skirmishers are totally useless. That's why I'm trying so desperately to lower their numbers to the point where they really can't even be used to help defend this area. I think that's the only way we're going to win this battle, and the only way we're going to do well. And there we go. Look at that. We've got Bristow. All right. Very nice. Got some cavalry. I'm definitely going to bring the cavalry this way first. I will be switching this around because we got some nice infantry, and I want to approach the town, but I want to be careful. I'm pretty sure that the enemy's going to be there, so I'm going to take this uphill route. There's really no woods over there, and I'm also going to take the uphill route with the artillery as well. So let's go ahead and do that, get everybody up there on top of the hill. And with the rest of our men, we're probably going to try to cut off the enemy, and I'll show you how we're going to do that very soon here. We're going to try to approach from multiple angles and fire from multiple angles so that these guys are basically getting shot at no matter where they are. And there we go, Hexamer. Oh my goodness, Agrippa, get your ass over here. Let's take Bristow and see if we can catch Hexamer. But in the meantime, I am going to move forward with these men. Maybe I'll bring Schaefer this way. I don't see Hexamer, but I know he's right there on the edge of the cliff. Charge. Let them fire and charge. We got those sabers ready. I want some skirmisher prisoners, and unless they're going to jump off that damn cliff, they ain't going nowhere. So here we go. Hexamer's charging, or excuse me, Bristow's charging Hexamer, and I'm actually going to have Schaefer charge Bristow, or charge Hexamer. I got to get these names right. I've been playing with Confederates too long. So let's go ahead. Bristow's doing a pretty good job, but Hexamer's continuing the charge, so I'm going to bring Schaefer, and of course we're going to start firing with Stockton. Over here, we'll bring Zook to cut off the enemy because I know that they're going to try to retreat across that bridge. Stockton can get some really quick shots, I think. Get Woods up there. We need that artillery up on the hill quickly. And actually probably should wait with these guys. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to wait a little bit. Wait over here with Zook as well. There's no need for us to rush this battle. Let's see what's going on here with Bristow. Seem to be losing guys pretty evenly on both sides, to be honest with you. And I want to get Schaefer closer so that he can actually start firing at Hexamer. I need Bristow to hold him there for a second so that I can get the shots off. But also charging would be just as effective, I think. I usually don't charge with skirmishers, but you know what? This is a very different kind of battle, so I'm going to do it. Go for it, boys. Alright, that's enough. The charge has stopped, so I'm just going to fire. I think that's going to be good enough to keep Hexamer off our backs for now. Now let's see how those artillery pieces are coming along. Pretty nice, pretty nice. We got Walton. Walton's going to approach. We're going to have Loomis approach over here. And I'm hoping these artillery pieces can go ahead and fire on McHenry. I apologize to the people in town, but there's really not much we can do. We must continue the fight, and you are in the way, unfortunately. And I want to put Zook over here. Like I said, I want to do this to cut off any sort of enemy retreat. At the very least, if the enemy does try to retreat, we're going to be hitting a lot of their forces before they're able to do that. And sure enough, look at that. Sill is waiting for us. It's almost like he wants to get shot. I'm actually going to detach some skirmishers here to carry on the attack on Sill. Zook's skirmishers. Keep it up, boys. Let's get rid of this enemy skirmisher line. Walton, I hope you continue firing. McHenry, you're going to have to get the hell out of this town if you want to survive. I'll tell you that right now. See how our boys are doing here. Schaefer, fire down on Hexamer. We've got the uphill advantage. And let's get Bristow to just fire his carbines. I think they're carbines. Yep, 52.52 carbine, excuse me. I don't know, some people say carbine, some people say carbine. I actually usually say carbine, which is why I corrected myself there. I might be wrong, maybe it's carbine, but there we go. We're going to try to chase him, fire, and I think that those boys are pretty sick of getting shot at. I don't think they're going to follow us anymore, at least I hope they don't. So we're going to move our guys back. So there we go. We are still getting flanking fire, but I feel confident that that's going to go away pretty soon here. Come on, Zook skirmishers. Keep shooting. Did I tell you to stop? I don't think I did. We could easily also just charge this town and probably take them out that way, but I'm trying to take the safe route, if that makes sense. Try to lose as few men as possible, and I'm amazed Sill is still in the fight. This guy should be running very, very soon here. Our politics are at zero, so we're not senators, we're not governors, we're not even a mayor at this point. We're just generals. And there we go. Finally got Sill to pull back. Now I'm going to turn our attention over to McHenry, but not before putting Zook over here to cover the bridge. But basically, yeah, we're going to need to increase the political bonus if we want to make any money whatsoever. But at the same time, our army organization is decent, but without money to pay for it, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. So there we go. We got Burns here. Oh my goodness. So we got more skirmishers. Open fire, Zooks. Now, this is obviously a skirmisher unit that we created from the Zook infantry battalion here, but I don't think that's going to stop their effectiveness, to be honest with you. I think they're going to fight just as well. Eventually, McHenry's going to pull back here. He is not going to hold there, and then, sure enough, there we go. McHenry's falling back. It's exactly what I was looking for. I want Stockton to follow through, and I want to keep firing at Burns. Got Law over here waiting on this side, and we may end up charging through here if things don't go 100% our way. I'm also going to put these cannons into a position where they can actually fire at the enemy. That's a bit sloppy, but it'll work. We'll fix it once we get there. Stockton, Zook, keep firing to McHenry. I don't want this guy to be battle ready at all. I want him to be completely unprepared for this fight. Come on, boys. We knew they were going to pull back. Pretty standard in a fight like this. But Burns still has men there, and I don't like it. All right, Burns. Skirmishers are making me uneasy. I want to make sure Loomis is over here. And Stockton's already out of ammo. Well, that's why we've got that supply wagon, so at least he can refill his ammo by getting to Stockton. But at the same time, I don't like that we're running out of ammo that quickly. Now, look at that. Schaefer and Bristow are here. They've made it. And thank God they have. Now, it looks like McHenry's going to try to get across that bridge and escape. That's exactly what I expected. And that's why we wanted some men there. Unfortunately, it didn't work out 100%, but look at that. Now McHenry is going to be on this side of the bridge. We're going to continue moving forward. Zook, Walton, the rest of these boys. And I want to make sure to bring Agrippa Maxenius here to support the attack. If McHenry's going to try to escape, we are going to follow that up with a massive bombardment. Here we go. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's grab one of these cannons, put them over here. One of these cannons, we're going to put around, about here. I think that's pretty acceptable. And right now, we're just going to open fire on Law. We're not going to charge yet, although that's definitely a possibility here. I'll tell you that right now. Right now, we're just going to try to loosen them up. Now, the fact is, these guys are in cover, and it's going to be tough to loosen them up almost at all. But we're going to do our absolute best. And I'm hoping the skirmishers can get some lucky shots here. But at the same time, we can't stay back here and get shot at by men who have superior cover. It's not going to do anything for us. In fact, it's probably going to damage our actual number of men and just the veracity of our attack pretty significant. They're going to be able to get a lot of kills before we make it across that bridge. So pretty soon here, we may attempt to charge, especially once our cannons are in position. In fact, Woods can start firing over here at Root. He's got a pretty significant force. We're going to bring Stockton forward as well. All right, Loomis, are you ready to fight for the Union? Son, we need you now more than ever. I'm just letting these guys kind of relax for now. Since they're stationary, they should be gaining some points. Look at that. Law is going to run. Beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Get the hell out of here, Law. This is our land. It's our territory. We don't want you here. Get the hell out of this town right now. He's still sticking around. I don't think that's going to continue for long. And Scales is pretty close. He'll probably be able to get some shell shot there, if I'm not mistaken. Supply wagon should be able to bring supplies to all of these men. Beautiful. And there we go. Yep, sure enough, Law's routing. He's going to route into town. We might try to go ahead and charge into McHenry with a number of men. And sure enough, it is shell shot. And yes, I think it's time we charge McHenry. Let's go for it, boys. For the Union! For victory! Keep the skirmishers back. Agrippa, move forward. Give them hell, boys. Give them hell. Here we go. McHenry's trying to take Law's place. I don't think it's going to work out too well for him. And sure enough, McHenry is also routing there. Exactly what we wanted to see. Absolutely awesome. Although I don't like that Agrippa's getting a little bit too close for comfort, put it that way. Nonetheless, we want to take those positions almost immediately. I'm going to take Loomis, put him over here. We're going to take Walton. First, we want to get Davies. Davies is going to try to fire some canister shot down at us for sure. Take Zook and put him over here. And we're just basically setting up, preparing for the next part of this battle. We're confident here. And I want to make sure Davies is not a threat. I also want to make sure that Root over here is not a threat. Going Stockton. Loomis is getting into position. Law is still fighting, but we know that we've damaged him pretty significantly. I don't think he's going to stick around for long. Worst pun ever. Alright, let's grab this supply wagon. We're on that bridge. That bridge is a death trap for anyone remaining on it, so we definitely want to get off as soon as possible. But these things take time. They certainly do. Alright, Loomis, I like your positioning. There we go. Davies is routing. And now we're sort of fighting for a different part of the town. Make sure Davies never comes back. Let's fire at Law. Show these rebels that this is our town, it ain't theirs, and it's never going to be theirs. It's that simple. Move forward with Walton, and I might focus on Root. Move forward with Zook, and actually keep fighting in the town. I don't want to go to those positions yet, because we don't really need to be honest with you. We'll get there eventually, but for now, our main goal is to take control of this town. Union has secured Philippi. That's what I like to see. It's not done yet, though, boys. It's definitely not done yet. And Law is going to go for the charge. Sure enough. We're going to break that charge. And we're going to surround these men. They don't have as many men as we do, let's put it that way. However, they do have Root, and Root is strong. And look at that Hexamer, you dirty bastard. Sure enough, Hexamer is getting behind our lines, firing at Woods. So we're going to try to get across as well with Woods. I'm going to take Loomis here. As long as Hexamer doesn't follow me, I may just disregard, but I don't like what they just did there. That was frustrating as hell. Keep shooting, boys. Charge. Walton, charge. Anybody who's able, charge. Damn it. Actually, it looks like our skirmishers have more cojones than our damn men do. There we go. So our skirmishers are going to go in and charge Law. I sure hope that they are able to get a victory here. Get them, boys. Get them. Try to get Schaefer in this position. There we go. Law is running. Still got McHenry, though, and they still have Schaefer, and those guys are strong enough to hold out on their own, to be honest. At least Davies is more or less ineffective at this point. But seeing Schaefer get hurt like that does not make me feel good. And look at that. Root, is he escaping across the bridge? Root, you damn coward. Come on, boys. Get Zook over here into cover. Rebels prepare for a counterattack. Well, there we go to the next part of the battle. And at this point, as you can see, the town is secured, but the rebels are determined to retake it. We prepared some entrenchments to stop their assault. Looks like they're going to be coming from the woods. And they're also going to be sending an armored train. So we've got to take out this armored train. It ain't going to be easy, boys. At the same time, we've got reinforcements en route with strong artillery batteries. It's going to take them an hour to get here. But within that hour, we've got to do our best to hold the line. Just hold that line no matter what. So I'm going to put our skirmishers here in town as sort of a, I guess, just an initial measure. Basically, the way I see it, these guys are skirmishers. They know how to shoot long distances. If we put them in these houses, in these townhouses, they might be able to fire from the windows and get some pretty good kills on the enemy. But we know that the enemy's arriving with a pretty significant force. At this point, the war is on, and the rebels are pissed. So we want to make sure to do our absolute best job at destroying these rebels as they approach us. Come on, boys. The Union forever. The Union forever. Hurrah, boys, hurrah. Down with the traitors and up with the stars. Let's get Woods right here. Yeah, he doesn't have the greatest cover, but I like him closer to the front lines, because if the enemy gets close enough to hit Walton, then Woods is going to be able to blast them with canister shot. We've also got Bristow here, our cavalry. Who knows what he can do? But we're going to find out pretty soon, and I'm worried. I hope you guys are just as, your palms are just as sweaty as mine, because right now I don't know what the rebels are going to send at us. They could send anything, to be honest with you. At this point, it's all about waiting and waiting to see what they have to offer. Rebel force decided on our left. No, Bristow, you stay put. And there we go. We got Wheeler. Looks like our artillery has seen him before even we did. And I'm actually going to put the cavalry over here next to our general. Hell, I might even take Stockton and send him out. I could even make some skirmisher brigades out of Loomis here. I think I'm going to do that. Try to get some early shots on the rebels. A little sneaky, I know, but a few flanking shots always help. Nice enough. Get back, get back. See, we got to use these skirmishers wisely. Can't just charge into battle with them, but we can certainly keep firing. And take Bristow over here to assist. We're not going to let them overrun us that quickly. No way. But they're definitely going for the full-on attack, and it looks like Ellis. My goodness, Ellis is approaching. Well, cavalry versus cavalry. Can't argue with that. We better hope that our skirmishers are prepared for a fight like this. Major Lewis Schaefer's wounded. Take him to the back, boys. And sure enough, Wheeler is going to pull back. We've got Grant moving forward. Not that Grant. Rebel Grant. Different one. So we're being flanked here, and maybe this was a mistake bringing the cavalry this far forward, the artillery, excuse me. Every time I make that mistake, we're moving our boys right into town immediately. Putting the fire on Grant, and Bristow actually managed to keep the enemy back temporarily. We've got Hatch over here. I see no reason why we can't eliminate him as a threat, and maybe even bring Zook back to focus on the center. I know those carbines have bullets in them, boys. Fire and use them. Alright, Woods is being overrun here by Nelson and his men, and oh my god, we've got a lot of enemies approaching. I'm hoping Schaefer's ready for this, as well as Walton. We did manage to push Scales back, but I don't know how much longer we can do this for. We need those reinforcements, and we need them now. It might be a matter of going ahead and sending our men southwards. Bristow, we need you now, son. Agrippa, you need to support your men. Talking to myself, this is a little strange. I feel like I've gone back in a time machine and I'm talking to my younger self. Come on, boy. Or my older self, in this case. You can do it. I've done it before. Everything rests on this attack. And we're also still taking shots from Wheeler. But I think holding this area is going to be very important. That armor train's on the way, and we don't have many artillery to deal with it, so I'm going to go ahead and start firing on it now. Try to lower its resilience as quickly as possible. We can see an absolute melee of bodies falling everywhere in this battle, and this is just the first damn part. I mean, holy hell, what else do we have to deal with? Come on, boys. Agrippa's getting back. He's getting scared. I need you to go over here at least, Agrippa. We need you, man. I don't give a damn if they have horses. Kill them all. Loomis. And there we go. Walton has routed, unfortunately. Sometimes even the bravest rout. I'm going to put Zook moving away over here, and I'm moving him to the center of town. We ain't lost yet, boys. We ain't lost yet. Go ahead and fire at Scales. And unfortunately, it looks like Woods has been killed in action. After that huge amount of attacks, I'm not that surprised. And it looks like Woods is losing his usefulness very quickly. But our boys are coming across that river, and they're showing up damn quick. So we need those boys to get there right now if we stand any chance against the enemy. Let's go ahead and get our skirmishers to deal with Revere here. We can't have enemies firing into our flank while we're trying to beat the enemy. That just ain't right. Hit Revere. Loomis. Bristow, get your ass back here. Have Scales fire on their train. Alright, we've got our infantry arriving. This is a victory. It's a tough one. And I'd love to put Zook in position here. I'm going to try to do that, but getting into position is not going to be easy. Firing at Parrott. Actually, we'll fire at Ellis. I'm surprised Ellis is even still around. Yeah, that's right. Get in those buildings, boys. That's what they were made for. For Federals to take over them and kill rebels. It's that simple. Get some flanking shots here. Scales is still firing at their train. I think that's very important because the armored train is obviously going to provide a lot of firepower for the enemy. Now Zook is in position and he's going to be charged by Perrin. We're going to stay here with Walton, and we might take Colquitt and charge the enemy ourselves. They've had enough time to walk around. I think it's time for them to charge into battle gloriously. Go for it, Colquitt. Get Perrin back. We're knocking around our boys every which way, but we're not giving up yet. Get Loomis over here. And there we go. Looks like Perrin has fallen back somewhat. Looks like Colquitt has just arrived. We got Bruce as well. I'm going to put him over here. And we want to get Agrippa back here to give support to these boys that are really in the thick of it. We're still holding the town. That's what's important. Eventually, that damn train is going to get sick of shooting at us. I don't think we can see him from this distance, but as we get closer, we will be able to engage. I'm going to have him run just for now, just to get that double quick on Parrott. Maybe even some flanking shots. Let's try some flanking shots. Come on, boys. I believe in you. You have to believe in me. Scales is approaching. We'll have Bruce deal with him. It looks like Bruce might be in some close combat here with Parrott. Schultz is getting there, boys. There we go. Look at that. Bruce is chasing Parrott. I don't want him to chase him that far, though. Good enough for me. Just keep firing at Scales. Make sure he doesn't get any closer. We're going to put Schultz right there. Okay, Nelson, even their skirmishers are coming in for the fight. Let's put Milroy right here in town. Brand new, fresh brigade. We got Zook over here as well. We got Scales. I want Scales to get closer. And we also got Bristow. So Bristow's going to fall in over here and do a flanking charge on Wheeler. I know we don't have much men, but you would be surprised at how cavalry can scare the hell out of the enemy. Come on, boys. For the Union, you can do it, boys. See, Bruce ran way too far. Now he's engaging a fight he can't win. Schultz. Fire at something, boy. We got Hayes over here, too. We're going to have Scales fire just a volley on Hatch. If there's one thing skirmishers don't like, well, nobody does. That's going to be some canister shot, and we are definitely close enough to deliver that to the enemy. Loomis, right on Revere. Let's have him, Colquitt. Don't quit, Colquitt. The worst of my puns. But it'll work. It's going to work, I promise you that. We're going to hold this town. Here's some canister shot for you. We need you to reload faster, Colquitt. You're doing a great job. But it is not great enough. Let's charge with Walton. I don't want them capturing our supplies. And let's make sure Scales is still firing on Revere. Although I want to get Scales forward a little bit more so that he can start shooting at the dry land Merima. This thing ain't no fun. Hayes can fire at him too. And there we go. We got some rebels pulling back now. I'd like to see that. I like the fact that Schultz is still firing. Oh yeah, that's shell shot, but it's effective. We've got the Confederate general here, MacArthur. I'm hoping we can go ahead and thin his lines quite significantly. In fact, if we could get behind these barrels, you can't imagine the amount of benefits we would get. But I just think the enemy is too close to them for it to be really effective. There we go. The Confederate train is withdrawing after taking significant damage. That's some good news for us. Zook is going to continue the assault. Fire on Revere. He still doesn't realize that he's lost this battle. Get the hell out of here. There we go. Look at those rebels run for cover. This town is ours, boys. I'm going to put Colquitt over there behind the barrels. I'm actually going to have him run just to get there. I think it's that important. Maybe we'll even get a shot on MacArthur, get a lucky kill on these rebels. We are moving some of our boys out of the town, but I think to defend it, we may need to do just that. Look at those rebels. They are falling back. I'm not going to chase them either. If we can win by holding the town and not losing any more men, I'll accept that. Remember, my goal here is to save our men, is to be a true general and try to save as many of our men as possible. I'm not going to be like McClellan and throw our men's lives to waste. That's not going to help anybody. So we're going to try to help our boys. Yes, they're going to have to do some work, but most of them, I'm hoping, are going to come home alive, and that's the important part. Let's hit Scales again. Make sure we mean business here. Grippa's got that bonus that he's delivering to our friends here. We'll bring the supply wagon right in the center just to make sure everybody's getting supplies. Hit him, boys. Hit him with everything you got. Get him. That's what I'm talking about. I would actually love to bring Schultz forward, but right now the fact he's getting some good shell shot on the enemy I think is sufficient. And it looks like a lot of the Confederates are heading back for another attack. So we need Milroy and the rest of these guys to do their part. We'll take Loomis's skirmishers and put them in town so they can still get those long shots on the enemy. Battle ain't over. Not even close. Stockton is holding that part of the battlefield pretty good. I think Zook can go ahead and deal with Wheeler. Remember, this is a battle where we have very little cover. Actually, the most cover is going to be in town, believe it or not. Boom! There we go. Give him hell. All right, MacArthur is getting out of here. I'm going to go ahead and bring Milroy over here. He is exhausted. I'm going to stop. No, he wasn't running. Sorry, it was Colquitt that was running. And we're going to try to get some flanking shots on Parrott. And at this point, yes, I do believe we can bring Schultz forward safely. Well, what can I say? Nothing is safe in a battle like this. Bring Loomis forward too. Because Grant and Wheeler outnumber us over here on this part of the battlefield. So it's really going to rely on manpower and resilience for us to be able to get significant victory here. Come on, Loomis. Do it for the Union, boy. Bring him over here. Schultz, fire on Scales. Not many men left there, and they're going to get flanking shots on us. Scales about to fire here. Only 2 cannons. 46 men manning those guns, but nonetheless. Keep it up, boys. Keep it up. What's this? We got Bruce. I don't know how the hell Bruce got over here. I definitely need to watch my mini-map because we could bring Bruce in. And he is running for some flanking shots on the enemy here. Pretty serious flanking shots, too. It looks like Scales is going to drop back pretty quickly. Wheeler is already faltering. Fire on Nelson. Don't need no skirmishers. stopping our fun. And I can't wait to see in this first engagement how many men are going to be lost on both sides. This is going to be a serious fight, of course. Milroy taking some serious flanking fire. I think I want to move Milroy in a better position here. I'm actually going to have him fall back just to save as many men as I can on Milroy. I don't get the feeling that the enemy is going to be able to advance that much farther anyway. There we go. Keep up the shell shot. Alright, there we go. Now the enemy's going for a charge. Now we can move Milroy back into position. Start firing on scales. They'll fire on somebody. And there we go. We're going to finish the fight, guys. It is a victory. Beautiful. So, it looks like the enemy lost 3,493 infantry and 2 guns. We lost 9 guns, 2,314 infantry. Cavalry losses are about the same. I'll tell you one thing. It's not a pretty fight. I mean, we lost some serious men here, you know, for sure. But at the end of the day, the job is done. We held the town, and that is definitely a step in the right direction. So we're going to hit OK. Move on to the next part here of the campaign, my friends. We got the Civil War Campaign Medal. We've got 53,000 to spend, 3,200 men. So, of course, we're going to increase Loomis. Now, if we use the veteran increase, that's going to cost 25,000. We're going to have to stick with rookies for now. I know that sucks, but unfortunately, that's our present situation. I'm going to do the same here. Get some rookies. Some men in Scales Brigade as well. We don't have enough ordnance to fill them out completely, but 725 ain't bad. And over here, I'm going to go for some skirmishers. Manuel Miller. And we have a different rifle that we have in stock, and we do have one, and that's the Sharps model. This is usually used for cavalry, but I think it's going to be sufficient for this situation. For the career, we need those political points. I mean, that's for sure. Got to increase politics and economy. Golden recruits. We're going to have to go for politics. We just became mayor of this tiny town. That's the way I like to see it anyway. And we've still got some money to spend. We'll get some more ordnance. We're spending money to get that ordnance, but I think it's worth it. And now, of course, we go to the battles map. And we could either take the distress call or we could go straight for first bull run. We're definitely going to take the distress call. Our newly found army is needed urgently for the protection of our supply station near Manassas Junction. That's where we're headed next, guys. So we're going to deploy out to Manassas Junction. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. We've only got 4 of the 8 necessary brigades to win here. That is not going to be easy, but we're going to try to make it work. And hopefully we do make it work. We can make it work. Confederate forces are going to approach from this direction. And from the eastern direction as well, I'm pretty sure. Small garrison of the supply depot, surely not enough to withstand all of our enemies. But we have our forces which will arrive and support the defense. So right now, we've got to deal with what we have, the amount of men we have, and try and hold this area. Well, I hope you guys are going to come back for that battle, and wish us the best of luck. Thank you for watching part 1 of the Union campaign, and let's hope we get lucky in part 2. Wrong button, wrong button.